Positive day, to be honest. I'm happy we started off the day well. The car was already in a good window. Little niggle with the sensor, but we fixed that quickly. And then heading into qualifying, I think the car was pretty strong. I could push. Of course, there will always be areas where we can do better. So we'll look at that tonight. But definitely a good start to the weekend.
I think reasonably good, to be honest. I never got quite comfortable. Probably until my final lap. So I'm happy with that. Close as it has been the whole year, so no difference. But it must have been a nice lap by Max, and good position for the race tomorrow.
The position is quite good, obviously, but last lap was a couple of corners I could have tidied up. So I think it's nice to at least know where the time is. Obviously a bit of a rough one last weekend, so I feel like we're back on the pace, and new front wing was working well. I'm excited for the rest of the weekend now.
The soft felt really good, to be honest. Got my hands on. Safety first. The soft felt really good, to be honest, and my lap felt really strong. I was pretty surprised at the gap, but I think I probably over egged it on my out laps. My tyres took too much life out of my tyres on the out lap, and I think probably just took that sort of peak grip away from it. That's sort of the only explanation I've got at the moment, because lap felt strong, probably the best lap of the session for me yet. It was quite a step backwards. So P4, still a great place to be for the fight tomorrow.
Yeah, I had a decent sprint quali. I think I was on it since Q1, Q2 and Q3. 3 very clean laps in qualifying. Unfortunately, it seems already since FP1 that on soft we look a bit weaker than on mediums or the harder compounds. And when we put that soft at the end, from thinking maybe a top 3 was possible, we are P5, but we had the same in FP1 where we were P6, something like that on soft. So something to look into. Unfortunately, right now this is more or less where we are.
I wasn't in the mix at all the whole session. It was pretty disastrous from my point. What can I say? Practice felt good. The car generally felt good. I don't think we had the pace, obviously, to be on pole, but very bad laps.
And what about
one of them?
What about the sprint tomorrow? What do you think is possible there?
Who knows? I don't think overtaken's like mega here, but we'll give it our best.
Yeah, I think we were in the mix today. I think unfortunately I don't know what Esteban was doing there. He apparently had to drive really slowly, and I did my final lap within half a second from him, and basically there was no chance. So it's a shame, because I think we're having a more promising pace there today. So unfortunately we were not able to maximize it today.
I think maximum that we could have achieved today in terms of position. I think obviously it was very tight and maybe not the ideal last run. Having to push that much on the out lap. It was very tight with finishing. We were quite at the back of the queue, me and Pierre, and I had to push to keep Pierre basically making and cross the line. So not the ideal end of quali, but I think maximum in terms of position that we could have done.
It was a good quali overall to get both cars in SQ3. Unfortunately, the SQ3 was bad, just badly managed. We almost didn't get the lap. I had to push in the out lap to cross the line. I had no battery on the final lap and in the gearbox of Checo, so we got a review to do better, because that's the sort of situation where we can definitely get better out of it. But Q1 and Q2 were very good, and good pace. Just a shame about this last part of quality.
I don't know what happened. I was in the pit lane, and I got the anti-stall, and then everything switched off. The team told me that we will speak when I'll be back in the garage, but obviously I went straight from the car to here, so I don't know.
What do you think was possible without that moment, obviously having to push to the line and not quite making it?
We weren't super strong, but definitely better than P10, so it's a bit disappointing, but we'll look what happened, and tomorrow we'll try to have a good sprint race to come back in the front.
It was a good qualifying, smooth and clean. We didn't have any traffic, and we came out on track. Firstly with no traffic, but also with the best track evolution, and I feel for the first time this year, although it's pretty late, it's the first sort of really fully clean and well executed qualifying. So got to keep this up.
Yeah, I think we were quick. The car still needs some work, though. I think I was pushing really hard and trying to eke everything out of it. But still tricky for us, and we'll see in the race though tomorrow how we go.
Yeah, it was tight as we knew, and it's going to be also the same tomorrow. I think the race as well is going to be ultra tight, but happy with the lap. We struck the maximum. I was not super happy in Q1, but then in Q2 I think we made the lap that we needed, and unfortunately not enough to be in Q3, but let's see tomorrow.
Not happy, but I think for sure the second round of Q1, my kind of spin in the last sector compromised our Q2 run quite a lot. Had a lot of damage, couple of damage, and was not obviously also ideal way to go in through Q2 for the adaptation of the driving as well. But it's definitely a shame. It's definitely more towards me. The kind of blame, for sure I'll take it and move forward.
I was going for it. To be honest, in that first session was just a good build-up. The second one I knew I needed to do something pretty good, and I wanted to obviously at least try and pick it, 2 or 3 off. But I didn't quite get turn 1 and 3 right, so I knew I needed to sort of make something happen the second half of the lap, and to be honest, I did. But on the way, clipped the gravel in 6, and obviously that's out. But no, I'm still happy with what I did and happy with the build-up, and I think it's a good place to be going into tomorrow.
Look, it's a short lap, so it's always going to be tricky here. The first lap was pretty horrific, but in terms of not really we changed quite a lot from FP1. I feel like obviously it's on a sprint, it's hard to get it right, but we changed quite a lot, and I felt like the first lap we were still quite a long way off. In terms of then the things we can change, front wing and this and that. So we came back to the pits, changed what we could. I think the second lap was definitely better.
Very fine margins. I think missed it by a couple of thousandths. But like every year here, it's super tight, and you need those thousandths to be in your favor. And it wasn't a great session. It didn't feel good. I was struggling to find the rhythm and harmony and consistency with the car. So I already knew that we were under pressure after the first lap, and unfortunately not enough pace today.
Yeah, it's strange because actually the feeling wasn't that bad, and I was expecting the lap time to be a lot better. I had 2 clean laps. The second one I think got deleted with track limits, but in the end it was only 200s better. So. Again, here it just seems like we're lacking single lap pace, but at least we still have a chance to change the setup after the sprint tomorrow.
Honestly, not mistakes, just wasn't good in turn 3, turn 4. So struggled with the balance, but also just didn't really know, couldn't really get around it. So tried to play around a bit with driving style and tools, but it didn't really work. So obviously one shot pretty much in sprint quali, and didn't get it right.
Yeah, it was quite messy quali on my side, but also a bit unlucky on my last attempt. Obviously only 2 laps. First lap 1 to the gravel into turn 9, almost lost the car, so obviously the lap was done. And then second lap had traffic, I think one of the Alpine impeding me in the last 2 corners. So I don't think would be enough to get through today, because obviously I think for us at least when we missed the first attempt, the tyre is gone.